It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the USA Paralympian swimmer, Mikaela Jenkins. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to be a swimmer?
Yeah, so I grew up swimming and I always really enjoyed it. And the more I swam, the more I learned to love it and love being with my friends and practicing and competing. And it just kind of evolved to where we are today.
How did you know that you wanted to compete, of course, in the Paralympians?
I found out about it in 2016, right before Rio, and that's when I got classed into para swimming. And ever since then, it's just been a dream of mine to make it and go. And obviously, I did this year.
What was it like in 2016 to get to know about this whole new sport and to try it out?
Yeah, no, it was definitely there's a big learning curve to it because it's definitely not like anything else I've ever done. And so just getting to know the coaches and the athletes and figuring out how the classification system works and um, how meets run. It was, like I said, it was a learning curve, but it also was some of the best moments of my life.
What was that feeling like whenever you got to compete this year for the first time ever in the Paralympians?
It was definitely crazy, I think is the word you could say it, because you think about it for so long and you're like, well, I've been dreaming about this moment for 5 years, and to get there, you're just like, oh my gosh, it's reality. I don't know what to do. So crazy is definitely the word I'd use to describe it.
Of course, what was it like this previous year? Of course, with COVID and everything, with no fans being there, and obviously your family couldn't go to Tokyo with you. What was that like being the first time that you weren't able to have your family?
Yeah, it was definitely hard because after I won, I mean, all I wanted to do was go see them and give them a hug. But they did FaceTime me that evening, and I showed them my medal, and they congratulated me. So in having no fans and no spectators, it was a little weird. It did feel a little bit silent, like there wasn't a whole lot of energy in the stands, but nothing that we haven't worked through before.
How did it feel to be a two-time Paralympian gold medalist?
Um, Again, I think the word to describe it is crazy because I really wanted obviously to win, but I didn't think that I would walk away with two golds. And so I'm just so proud of our relay and the girls that swam. And I'm really proud of my individual event too.
What was the feeling like when you were on the podium waiting for them to obviously put the gold medal around your neck?
There was just a lot of anticipation. I was like, oh, I'm going to be wearing it soon. This is the moment. This is what I've been dreaming about for 5 years. And so it was just pure excitement.
Of course, when you came back home with the gold medal, what was that feeling like of obviously going through the airport with the gold medal and obviously getting home to obviously your family that you haven't seen and showing them the gold medal?
Yeah, no, I was just super excited. I think it was the first thing I did when I met my parents in the airport. I was like, guys, you want to see the medal? And they were like, can we get to the car? And I was like, no, we're doing it right here, right now.
Obviously, was that the moment that you realized that it sunk in that you are a Olympian gold medalist winner?
Yeah, I would have to say the moment that it really sunk in for me, it was on the last day. I'd really been going through this meet with adrenaline and just trying to get through the stress of it all. And I was busy constantly, so I really didn't have much time to think. And then on that last day, we had one last swimmer who this was his third games, and he won his first gold. And he was on the podium and he was crying, and this was his, I think he's retiring. So, soon probably. So it was just the moment that he's been dreaming of for 3 games, which is like, what is that? That's over 10 years. It's over a decade. And so and the national anthem was playing and we were all standing in the stands, and that is when it hit me. And I was like, I'm walking away with 2 golds. I fulfilled my dream, and the dream I've been thinking about for the past 5 years. So I started to tear up a little bit too.
What is it like to compete with obviously the Team USA with people like Jessica Long and other people like that that are so inspiring and have put the sport in the right way?
Yeah, no, Jess has done arguably one of she's arguably she's one of the most influential para athletes and swimmers out there right now. And it's insane to see how she's affected this sport so much, and to see how other athletes have affected the sport so much in a positive way. And there would be, I think Jess has really been one of the ones to help bring this whole movement into the spotlight.
Of course, with Jessica Long being there, what is that like to get her to mentor you? And obviously, so you can one day take over her reign of being a 13-time Paralympian.
Okay, well, I don't know if I'll be a 13-time Paralympic gold medalist, which I think she now has like 16, 15, 16 medals. But I loved having her friendship over. We've really gotten to know each other over the past year, and so just having her friendship and her expertise and her guidance through all this has been in that I think in what would the word be, invaluable. It's something that I don't think I could have gotten from anyone else. Jess is a very unique person and a unique athlete, and I love watching her mental process when she's going through things. And yeah, I would love to be able to do that for someone else.
What is your preparation like on game day?
So a lot of sleeping, a lot of carbs, some sugar right before I swim, caffeine, coffee. I drink a lot of coffee on race day. A lot of stretching. I like to keep myself and my muscles warm, and a lot of music. I have a hype playlist that I like to listen to before I swim.
Of course, when you get prepared for the game, do you have any particular way that you have to have your stuff on? Like, obviously, your head stuff on first, or your swimsuit on first, or vice versa?
I always put my suit on first, and I usually don't put on my cap and my goggles and all that until I get to the call room.
What is that like, of course, whenever the gun goes off and you're ready to race and you're in the water?
Um, Usually I don't remember much about my races or right before my races because I have so much adrenaline just pumping through my body. So a lot of times my mind is just completely blank and I just take a deep breath and I just swim.
How does it feel to have, of course, Olympian behind your last name?
What do you mean by that?
Of course, with being in the Olympics this year, obviously the Olympians like Jessica Long, how does that feel to have your Olympian behind your name to know that you were in the Olympics?
Oh, it's definitely something, like I said, I've been working for the past 5 years. So it's every time I say Mikaela Jenkins, Tokyo 2021 Paralympian, it's really, it's just special because not everyone gets to do that.
Of course, what are some of the favorite memories and moments from this previous Paralympians?
Um, Probably it was just hanging out with my friends and laughing and getting to know new people and just experiencing the village and games itself.
Of course, while at the village, who were some of the people that you looked up to that you were like, oh my God, I've seen you swim or even compete, and now we're both here?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of people in the paraswimming community that I've looked up to for a long time. But fortunately for me, because I have swam the past couple years at an elite level also, I do know most of them, and a lot of them have really taken a mentorship status to me, which I appreciate a lot.
Of course, as you talked about swimming on the elite level, what is that like swimming on the elite level to obviously go to the Paralympians?
To go to the Paralympics is, again, it's crazy. I honestly kind of think it was a fever dream, to be honest. Sometimes I'm like, was that real? And I had to remind myself that it was.
What are some of your future plans in your Paralympian swimming career?
I would like to swim Paris in 2024 and potentially LA in 2028. I would also like to swim as fast as I can. I want to break the 100 fly world record, and I would just like to finish my career going out on top.
What is that going to feel like in 2028 to obviously swim on home soil?
I think it would be amazing, and that's part of the reason why I hope to continue to swim until that point, because I think that would be a very invaluable experience, or a very valuable experience.
Of course, as you get prepared for the 2028 Paralympians and swimming on home soil, what is that going to feel like to obviously have your family so close, as I assume obviously COVID will be over by then?
Yeah, it definitely will mean a lot. I know probably some of my friends would probably try to get tickets if they could to come see that, since it's so close. So it would just, again, it's very special.
What advice would you give people looking to become Paralympian swimmers?
That anything is possible, and that they need to find coaches and a support group and friends and family that really back them and don't um, and help them to achieve their dreams and not hold them back.
What advice would you give them that are looking to compete for the first time, like how you did this previous year?
Yeah, I would say, or like first time at a games, or
Mhm.
just first time. Kind of what I said, just but also take into account that to just soak in everything, because you may not get another chance to swim. I mean, I could get an injury tomorrow and I could never be able to swim again. So just really soak it in and let yourself have fun and enjoy the process.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Yeah, so I actually need to look because I'm not entirely sure myself. So on Instagram, it's just at Mikaela, Mikaela .Jenkins, and then underscore. Twitter, it's just Mikaela Jenkins, and yeah, that's about it.
Thank you again, Mikaela Jenkins, for your interview, and best of luck in your future as a U.S. Paralympian swimmer.
Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Mikaela, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.